We're going to pass bills to fix the nation's urgent challenges, from wide open southern borders to American last energy policies to woke indoctrination in our schools.
Kevin McCarthy outlining the Republican agenda for the 118th Congress shortly after winning the coveted position of House Speaker. As he stated, combating woke agendas and eliminating critical race theory in schools are core pieces of the GOP plan to fix this country. And our next guest has some ideas on how they could accomplish that. Joining us now is the founder and chairman of the American Cornerstone Institute, Dr. Ben Carson. He's also the former Housing and Urban Development Secretary under President Trump. And if that's not enough, he's the author of Created Equal. Dr. Ben Carson, my dear friend, it's so great to see you again.
Well, thank you, Rita. It's always wonderful to be with you.
Thank you so much. You know, you just heard there Speaker McCarthy laying it out the night that he was elected that the GOP plans to combat woke ideologies and CRT teachings in school. It was almost one of the first things out of his mouth. So clearly it's a big priority for the House. Why do you think it is so vital, especially right now?
Well, John Adams, our second president, said that our system is based upon a well-informed and educated populace, and it won't work otherwise. And we're seeing the dumbing down of our society right now and the distortion of our history. And you stop and you think about how important those things are. Your history gives you your identity, and your identity is that thing upon which your beliefs are based. So if you break that chain, you become like a leaf blowing in the wind. Very easy to manipulate, very easy to fool. And those who want to fundamentally change our society into something else, it's critical for them that they have a dumbed down society, people who will believe anything. You know, people who will hear you say, oh, the border is secure, there's no problem there, while thousands of people are coming across. I mean, you need people who are fairly dumbed down to believe that. And, you know, in our school systems, the indoctrination is starting very early. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he'll not depart from it. Well, the Marxists understand that concept. And that's why Vladimir Lenin said, give me your children to teach for 4 years, and the seed that I sow will never be uprooted. So they know what they're doing. But the good thing is there are parents all over the country now who are running for school board, who are getting involved in the school system, who are thwarting this. And the homeschools have burgeoned. You know, there's twice as many now as there were in 2020. And private schools, particularly faith-based private schools, the waiting list is just expansive. Parents actually are realizing what's going on, and that's what it's going to require. We have to get involved and not be worried about being canceled or called a name. You know, we have to be in this fight, and you can't be the land of the free if you're not the home of the brave.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like you said, I mean, parents have really been speaking out like never before and feeling emboldened, which is great, and getting some great results with that, too. You know, I think about your amazing life story, Dr. Carson. You grew up poor in Detroit. How would believing what's taught in CRT affected your destiny? You believe it would have changed your destiny entirely.
Well, if I had accepted the fact that I was a victim and that I had to act like a victim, I wouldn't have gone through all the things that I went through and successfully navigated those waters. And my mother was responsible for that. She had less than a third grade education. And she probably, if anybody was a victim, it was her, born into a very large rural family, getting married at age 13, trying to escape desperate poverty, having been transferred from place to place, home to home. But she always said, you can overcome this. As long as there is a God above, and as long as you do the best that you can possibly do, you're going to be fine. And that was the attitude that both my brother and I grew up with. And she made us stop watching so much TV and reading books. And she was criticized severely for that. People said, your boys are going to grow up, they're going to hate you. You can't make them do that. And I would overhear them and I say, you know, they're right, Mother. But she stuck to her guns. And, one son became a brain surgeon and the other became a rocket scientist. So I think she had the last laugh.
Yeah, I'm sure she did. And what an amazing mom you had. In your book, Created Equal, you address the 1619 Project and CRT, outlining basically how that is divisive. What advice would you give to Republicans who clearly want to take this head on? And I agree with you, it's such an important issue. What can they do to combat it?
Well, first of all, they need to acquaint themselves with what the facts are. The left would have you believe that we are uniquely evil as a nation because of slavery. Well, the facts are virtually every society in the history of the world has had to deal with slavery. And what makes us unique is not that we had slavery, but the fact that we had a large portion of our population that were willing to fight for their lives against slavery. And we gave up a lot of lives in order to get rid of it. And that's a very unique factor about us. And also, when you look at the progress that has been made, when I was a kid, it was rare to see Black people as CEOs of companies and heads of foundations, generals and admirals. And now we've got all those things. We've had a Black president elected. So to say that we're not making progress is foolishness. We haven't reached nirvana. There's no question about that. But we've made enormous progress. And we get to choose, do we want to build our future on our progress or on our failures?
Yeah, 1,000%. Really quick, I know you also have some information free for parents, right? For
Yes.
K through 5th grade. Am I correct? How do they find out real fast?
You were right on target. AmericanCornerstone.org, or you can go directly to the littlepatriotslearning.com. The programs are magnificent. People always say, how can you do this for free? It's because we have wonderful patriots who underwrite the program.
Well, bravo, bravo, bravo for all you do. And Dr. Ben Carson, always so great to see you. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Rita.
Thank you.